Okay, you can see the recordings of previous class in the playlist of Genie in my YouTube channel. So today I will record as well. We'll continue the class today, and inshallah on Thursday I will give you a video to watch on case study. Okay, so by end of this class, I will upload the assignment 1 in the Google Classroom. Okay, that'll be your first assignment. We overall 10% of your, what do you call it, of your overall marks. And on Thursday, inshallah, there won't be any like online class like this. I will just give you a link for you to watch. Make sure you watch it carefully and jot down questions if you don't understand. Because later we will discuss on that on the next week on the case study, and after that I will give your question. So the case study question is 30%. Okay, case study is 30%. So make sure you watch the video carefully and ask me any questions that you not clear or you want to have further elaboration. Okay. All right. So you can, for today's attendance, you can go and click in the Telegram. There's a pinned message there. The password for today is Syukur. Okay. So the password for today is Syukur. I'm not sure why people are still joining in. Tapi saya buat masuk je lah. Malah nak gaduh. Okay, so any question? So password today is Syukur. Make sure you put the right password. Otherwise, you are not considered attending the class. It's in the Telegram, pin in the Telegram. So if anybody want to reshare, up to you. Okay, so let's go for the class today. I will share again the PowerPoint slides. Who remember what we did last time? Anybody? Anybody remembered what we did last time?
We discussed different ethics.
I cannot hear you, Shafiq.
We discussed the different types of ethics.
So there are three main theories on ethics from the Western side. So we looked at the videos. Then I asked you to think, right? What are the pros and cons of each major ethical theory? So anybody wants to recap? So anybody wants to start? What do you think about the three major ethical theories?
Can I start it?
Yes, Hamza.
Madam, I will start with deontology. And this one is my least favorite one for me. Because as we discussed, it always focuses on just giving orders and just taking orders even without applying like any logic. So sometimes this could make like a lot of problems, and this is one I've seen it in real life in the IIM gate, especially.
In IIM gate?
Yes.
Can you explain?
Yes. When you are trying to go out, sometimes like security, they have like order, and that one, like no matter what you say, they just gonna say no. That bullet. So sometimes even if you have like big things to do outside, maybe have like a concrete things to do and to discuss, they're not gonna even entertain you. So they use deontology, in my opinion, and I think it's my least favorite one.
Okay. So what can you give an example of a concrete thing to do outside?
Yes, madam. Sometimes there's a lot of things, to be honest.
Give one, just one.
Okay, for me, appointment, like sometimes you have I have appointment outside my dentist, and when I try to go out, they're not gonna. They sometimes say you're not gonna go out.
So during the pandemic, you
Yeah.
want to go out to see the dentist during the
Yes.
pandemic,
Yes.
they allow
Yeah.
you.
Even if they give me like email, and they give me like email to give them to the kulia, and even in my mahalla principal,
Mhm.
I gave them everything, but at the end of the day, they said no because they used ontology, and I don't like it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Hamza, for your opinion. Let's hear from others first before I comment. Okay, other people, what do you think about the three pro and cons? And you can also comment whether you agree with Hamza or no. Mm. Do you still remember the three? I don't know. You want me to check you? You better bersuara. You better say something before I just call your names. Anybody? Ali Mansur, are you there?
Yes, madam.
So what do you think?
But what? Sorry, I
You what?
saya ni baki sikit pelik.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
About what, madam?
About what? You didn't hear the question before?
No, I just got in.
Why you just log in? Hmm? Why are you late?
Ada hal, madam.
Okay, nanti lepas ni awak message saya boleh?
Boleh?
Okay, lepas kelas make sure message saya. Kalau awak lupa, nanti kalau saya ingat habis awak. Alright, so let's ask another person. I can see all your face here, which is good. Abdul Rahman, where's your? Oh, I think I will just kick you out, Abdul Rahman, because you don't turn on your. I'll just remove you from the class for not turning on the video, and you didn't tell me why. Fatin Hanani, what do you think?
Regarding the deontology.
No, for the three major ethical issues. What do you think of the pro and cons of them?
For the, I agree. Same as Muhammad said just now, that I also don't like deontology.
So what about virtue ethics? Comment on that.
Virtue ethics. I think it's good.
Why?
Because we practice honesty, I think.
Because you practice honesty.
Yeah.
Okay. Any cons? Everything good?
I don't think so, because it develops our moral character, I think, by being honest and being the virtues.
Okay. Thank you, Fatin. Let's hear from who else wants to comment on this? Three. You better. So the slides is in the Google Classroom. You can open the slides. Irfa, Samiha, what do you think?
I think for virtue ethics, because it kind of highlights the virtue or personality of someone, right? So I think the weakness of the theory is that because everyone is like different, so sometimes, like, different person has different principles or different things that they stand for. So in that situation when two different person has uh, different opinions, then it might clash. I think that that it is the weakness of the theory.
Okay, can you repeat again in one sentence?
I think the weakness of the theory is that because people have different opinions on something, then when it can create a collision or contradiction.
If like somebody, if like person A uses the virtue ethics, person B use the deontology, something like that, you mean?
I mean, like, because virtue is about being a virtuous human being and about what a person believes in what is bad and what is good. So sometimes two different person can believe in like this is good, but A is good.
You're talking about virtue ethics, is it?
Yes, virtue ethics, right?
Yes.
So,
Okay, understood. Yes, right. Okay, good. So that's the cons of virtue ethics. It depends on what you believe and what you believe and maybe your upbringing. For example, if let's say you in an environment where everybody are doing, homosexual, so maybe you think homosexual is right. True. So that would be so that's the cons of virtue ethics. Okay, so I think so. I hope you still remember there are three major ethical theories in the world. Major, there are many sub of it, but the three mains are the three, which is the virtue ethics, the deontology, and the utilitarianism. So let's open I will share my slide now. Can you see? Brothers and sisters, can you see?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So virtue ethics, we watched the virtue ethics is not the act. So I'm just recapping. I'm just what do you call it? Going through again what it means. So virtue ethics was introduced by Aristotle very long ago, 384 before Christ, and then it says that the virtue or value of the action is not. It believes in the virtue or value of the action is not in the act, but it is in the heart of the actor. So it means that what you believe is what is in your heart. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as what you believe is right, what is your heart is good, you're honest, something like that, right? So it believes in like a fitrah of human being, which everybody wants good, something like that, right? So we also have that in Islam, where we believe everybody have innate nature of being good. But nowadays we can see, because the Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when a baby is born, who knows the hadith? What about the baby when a baby is born? What about the baby?
That he is Muslim, as fitbah.
It's the one about it's like a white cloth, right? So when a baby is born, it's born out of fitrah, means it's very clear, it's pure. There's no sin. It's all good. It's the environment and it's the parents actually that in the hadith say that change it, become a Majusi or a Nasrani, a Christian or a Majusi. So we believe that as well, but we understand, right? Even if the baby was born out of fitrah, then after that, the parents, the environment can change that person from the fitrah to not being good, not following the fitrah. Okay, right. So these are some of the points of the virtue ethics. You can read this on your own. There's a lot of elaboration, but I'm just telling you the what do you call it, the conclusion or the key point of the theory. the problem with virtue ethics, so as a human being, as a somebody that Allah gave you akal, whenever you are given with a certain things, you should think. And then you should think about what is the good and what is the bad of any situation, of any information given to you. For virtue ethics, the problem is it doesn't give clear guidance on how to act in specific circumstances. It doesn't tell us about abortion, euthanasia. Do you know what euthanasia means? Anybody?
Mercy killing.
Yeah, Shafiq, can you say it louder?
Mercy killing.
Mercy killing. What is mercy killing?
It's like injecting some chemical into your blood, and then the chemical will act as something that stops or slows your heart rate.
Yes. Why people want human being want to do mercy killing? Do you know? Why do we have this?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
But mostly because it depends on the concern of the, like, let's say someone's father is declared as brain dead, so their family are willing to let the father go. So they either give an option between let them be on depending life on life machine, or just use the euthanasia. So there's a lot of dispute of that.
Yeah, so euthanasia, the law is different from one country to another country, and it much depends on what the country believes in. For example, Malaysia have a different view on euthanasia compared to some European countries. And they sometimes, they got cancer and they want to just end their life because it's too painful. And so they give consent to the doctor, just stop or put some chemical so that I will die. So that and the law is different from country to country, depending on the ethics, the ethics that the country believe in. So this virtue ethic doesn't tell anything about abortion, euthanasia, pre-implantation, genetic diagnosis, and everything. It's just like a broad guideline, say you follow your heart, something like that, right? So can we live in a life with there's no law? Okay, and there is no clear answer to question as is the environment intrinsically valuable? So I mean, is the environment valuable or no? So some people will say, oh, maybe it's not valuable. Some will say yes. So as mentioned by the sister, we can have argument on this. So there is also uncertainty on how you decide on what the virtues are. Okay, the same point, is cultivating the virtues really the best way for an individual to maximize his human potential? So is this the best ethics that we need to follow as human beings? And people can do the wrong thing for the right reasons, ignoringly kind. This is also a problem. Some people are kind, but they are ignorant. Because of the ignorance, because of the kind heart, they do stupid things that in the end affect other people, but their heart is kind, right? So this is also a problem if we follow 100% this virtue ethics. Okay, if you have any question or comment, just let me know. We can discuss. Okay, number 2 is the Kantian ethics, or the deontological ethics, and we watched the video. You can go and watch it again, because the the first assignment have something to do with this as well. So that's why you need maybe to review it again. So this second ethics theory says that consequences of an action are irrelevant to a moral evaluation of the action. It means that everything is based on the method and don't care about the consequence. So as mentioned by the brother Hamza, it's about rules. We are following the rules. So if this is a set of rules given by a government, given by the higher leader, everybody has to follow, no question. Okay, that's this ethical theory says. So he concentrates on the nature he concentrates on the nature of the action itself as well as its motive in order to determine whether it is right or wrong. So they will concentrate on the the action, why the rules of why they are doing that as a right or wrong, and also why, motive of why they are doing it. So I will just skip. And one does it because it's the right thing to do. So we have a law and everybody consensusly think it's a right thing to do. Okay, so it's next. The problem with deontological ethics is problem of justification for categorical imperative. Where does it come from? Not all good actions can be universalized. So there are good and bad. So brothers and sisters, all these major ethical theories, they have the good side, which means that they are, as mentioned, they are good things that we can follow, but they also have the problem, the issues of it. So for example, if follow 100% this deontological ethics, we will question where does it coming from, where the law coming from. For example, the case of Hamza, then we need to understand where the law, the rules coming from. If the awesome are doing it, let's find out where the law coming from. Okay, and then and so sometimes somebody can just make up a rule. Maybe so somebody out there make a rule. So do we just follow the rule? Is it coming from a credible source? Okay, there are things that we can question in Islam, and there are things that we cannot question in Islam. Cannot question means, it doesn't mean that you cannot think about it, you can ask question. Question means that you have to follow. For example, praying 5 times a day, you don't question. You cannot question, for example, why is it 5 times a day? I don't believe it have to be 5 times a day. 5 times a day is 5 times a day. You can question, you can try to find answers, but in the end you have to follow, right? So deontological ethics is just basically following the law or rule. Not all good actions can be universalized. So there are certain, what do you call it? Not loophole. There are things that need reasoning. Okay, so sometimes you cannot follow 100%, right? For example, but it must be with a very strong reason. So in the case of Hamza, then we need to know what are the good reasons. Have you done everything that need to be done, and why are the rules are there? Why the university put that rules? Okay, so not all people follow reason. Reason is followable. So reason can be, sometimes reasoning can be, they can be wrong. So that's why it's easier sometimes to just follow the rule. So this is what the deontological ethics problems are. If we have a categorical imperative not to lie, it is wrong to lie, even if by lying to a mad gunman we can save an innocent person's life. Okay, so this is an example, right? So for example, the rules say do not lie, but you have a gunman, crazy gunman, that asks you, is there people at the back? So at that time, if you follow deontological ethics, you will say you cannot lie. So you say yes, there are. While if you are following the other utilitarianism, you look at the consequence, you say no, you can lie at that time because you want to save innocent person life at the back. So that's this problem of this deontological ethics. And the third one is utilitarianism, the greatest good, by Jeremy Bentham, this person here. Basically is the principle of social utility measured by the resulting amount of pleasure and happiness, greatest happiness, pleasure for the greatest number. Basically, they look at the consequence. It's a type of consequentism, whereby this ethics look at the outcome. This is the outcome, this is the ethics of what Robin Hood are doing. The outcome is people are, the poor people will get money, they can eat food. So therefore it can steal. He can steal. So this is what Robin Hood used as his ethics. And it holds the happiness utility is good in itself and worth pursuing, increasing for its own sake. I don't want to read, you can read on your own. So an action that leads to beneficial consequences is right or moral. So that's what they think. If the consequence, the outcome is right, is beneficial, is good for human beings, so it must be correct. Okay, this is the opposite of the opposite of the deontological. So if the outcome is right, the method should be right. Okay, it doesn't matter what you do as long as the consequence is good. And one that leads to harmful consequences is wrong or immoral. So if the consequence or outcome is bad, so it must be that to do it is also bad, which is immoral. The method is also immoral. You cannot do it. So here are the problems with utilitarianism. Seemingly immoral acts can be judged moral. Example, killing an innocent person. For example, you think that person. I was just having a discussion with my there's this makcik who comes to to my house. So she's from Patani. Anybody from Thailand here? No, we don't. We rarely have Thailand students, right, in engineering. I don't know why. Okay, because maybe they go to their country to learn engineering. So this, she's from Thailand, the Patani. You know what's Patani? Yes, no? Do you know? Where is it? Don't tell me you are sleeping. I don't know, madam, because I'm sleeping. Nick, do you know where is Patani?
No, madam.
Have you been there?
No.
So where is it?
I at near Bangkok, I think. I don't know.
Everybody 30 seconds, Google where's Patani. Should know. You know, because in Patani, there are a lot of our brothers and sisters in Islam. And there are also a lot of terrorism over there.
Kelantan, madam.
Huh? Patani where?
Near Golok, madam.
To Kelantan.
Okay.
Near Golok.
Near Golok. Where's Golok?
Near the river, I think. The Seberang.
Do you know where's Bangkok? Is it close to Patani? Okay, so you open the map, you will know. Okay, so Bangkok is at on the north a bit, on the right, on the east north. Patani is the really southern of Thailand. It's in border with Malaysia, Kelantan. So in Patani, so Thailand is known as a country, is a Buddhist country, right? So that's their in their constituents. Malaysia, the constituent is a Muslim country. Islam is a part of the constituent. So so this Patani, in Patani there are a lot of Muslim brothers and sisters there, but they're in a non-Muslim country. So so I was talking to this makcik. She says, you know, so this is a problem for ethics. I'm telling this is the real life problems in ethics. So they were saying, you know, because I don't know why we had this conversation yesterday, or just yesterday, and you know, they were saying that there are a lot of black magic done by the Thai people, the non-Muslim. Do you know about that? You don't know anything about that? Yeah. You know what's black magic? Sihir. Yes. So you know the statistic says, I heard from Ikim, the ratio is 1 to, I think 1 to 4. So if we have, how many of us here? 28. Can you divide by 4? What's 28 divided by 4? 7. No. 7. 7. Is it 7? So 7 out of us here must have direct contact with experience with sihir. Okay, nowadays as you go you know, to the more advanced, we are going back in terms of, you know, people are going back to do shirik, shirik in, you know, worshipping shaitan and iblis. So we were talking about this, about the problem. You know, this makcik is just you know, she just, you know, she's massage lady. So she just like she doesn't have high education. She just was telling me the stories. So she said nowadays there are more and more people who do this. Okay, and she was also involved in this, involved as a victim. So she was saying in Thailand, in his her village, which is Patani, there are a lot of people who do who previously, not now, who do bad things. Okay, like preparing for this black magic. And one of it, I don't know whether we should talk about this or no, this ethics, but I'm just telling you, it's all this shirik and anything from Iblis and Shaitan is all bad. Nothing is good, and they are crazy. And this Iblis and Shaitan, they the worst evil of evil. They will try to influence human earth to do the worst thing that you can think, right? So this lady was talking about there's she went to one house, okay, to take care of the baby, and this lady is a wife of another man, rich man, and she's doing sihir to the husband. How does she know? Because she reads Quran. So when she's in the house, she's not feeling, she cannot feel, she's not feel, she feels something different. So in the end, she had this discussion with the wife, and the wife told that she's using what they call it, I don't know, have you heard minyak dagu? I think Hamzah, you will never know, right? This is the, but you don't need to know. But if you want to marry a Malaysian lady, maybe you want to know. So so this wife is not from Malaysia, from Cambodia, from Cambodia in English. So this lady is using this minyak dagu, and then the makcik is asking me, Fazlin, do you know what is minyak dagu? I said, oh, I don't know. I just knew that it comes from a dead person. Okay. And then this makcik was telling, because when she was in Patani long time ago, there's a like a pious lady who asked the sihir, somebody who do sihir, because he's doing the minyak dagu and how they're doing it. So when I heard that, I said, Ya Allah, I don't know there's no word to describe how evil is all these things, and how Shaitan and Iblis are evil, and we should take Shaitan and Iblis as our enemy. Never say that it's okay lah, Shaitan and Iblis. No, they are really evil, and they will try to make us to be as evil as possible. And they want for us to be in Jahannam together with them. So she was telling me how they do it. You know, they will capture this man, is Muslim man, Muslim. Say that he calls himself a Muslim. He will capture any girl with a certain characteristics, you know, and then he will tie the hands, and then put something on the tip of the mouth so that she cannot shout, and she put lights on the what do you call this in English?
Chin.
Chin. So they put fire to the chin so that oil will come out, and the girl is still alive. Okay, so they will burn alive the girl to get that oil from the chin. So when they got all the oil, and the girl already suffered, and they want to cover this, they will kill that girl. And this is how they do it. It's like crazy. How can a human being do that to another human being? And many people just go and buy that oil, and then after that they will read all this shirik, mentera, apa was it? Mentera was English.
Incantation.
Incantation to bring all the jinn and shaitan together, right? So and then they will just kill. So I was asking this makcik, how is it possible you have many of these people, there must be many people already killed because there are many of this oil around. Say yes, there is. So, but the thing is, in Thailand, the problem is the police is not, especially in the south, they are not at that time, I don't know now, are not very good in finding, go and do this investigation, and many got loose. So many people are killed. Can you imagine being tortured before death and then killed? And then some people just buy for the sake of doing whatever they want to do with another person. It's crazy. This is all evil. And then I ask, so nowadays, so what do the villagers do to this person? Sometimes they know, sometimes they declare that I'm the one who's selling this. So people know that, and they feel they are powerful, you know, these people, because shaitan and jinn are with them. So, okay, okay, Alia. So Ali, okay, Ali, I was just reading. So then what I was saying, what they do, the villagers, because the officer is not you know, is not capturing these people, so they just kill. They have a gun, and they know any person who are bad, they just kill and die. So there's a problem on ethics. Is what the villagers doing, is it right or wrong? What do you think?
Seems right.
Huh? Hamza?
I said, madam, it seems right.
It seems right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we because they say they cannot find any other way, so they will kill. So if you read the news, because I always follow the rules, the news on Patani, and always afraid to go there, because they always, you know, how the news comes out, say Muslim kills Muslim, right? When it comes in the news, they will say, the journalists will say, oh, these villagers who are Muslim also killing another Muslim. But from the people, the villagers, from this makcik, she's telling it's not any people they kill, because they don't have any solution for this person. They keep on doing this evil thing and just kill. They just take a gun, die, you know. And also there's maybe somebody who, you know, take drugs. So she said there's people, you know, there's a son who taking drugs and always hit the mother. And every time the hitting the mother, he will get money. And then every time he was caught, if he's caught by the police, they will you know, put in the jail for 3 months only. And then even 3 months only, the mother will come. So mother, you know, mother is very special, you know, how the love of a mother to the child. So the mother will go to the prison and sell the land, sell the house, sell everything to bring back the son out of the jail. So when the son come out, and then the addiction comes again, he will again you know, beat the mother up. So and the villagers knows about this, and then they also and they were worried this man go crazy, will go and steal, rob other people, and then you do bad things to other girls around. So what they did, they just shoot to death this man. So is that right or wrong? Okay, this is Alhamdulillah, it doesn't happen in Malaysia. Alhamdulillah, you know, we need to be grateful. In Malaysia, we have a proper police, you know, investigation, and then nobody will just lost and couldn't be found. But you know, this is what happening, and this is a real ethical issue that we should think, and there's a ways of things, and with the thinking should be based on Islam. So we'll go through this in the class, inshallah. Okay, so let's go back. So going back to here, it means that the problem with utilitarianism is that you can kill an innocent person. Maybe you think that if this will help, you know, other people, maybe you will kill an innocent person without going to court, because that person you think he's doing bad, and then because of that you kill. So consequences are often difficult or impossible to predict, because, you know, utilitarianism based on the outcome. We need to predict the outcome, but we don't know as actually what the outcome will be. Maybe that brother, the boy which is killing, maybe do tawbah one day and ask Allah for forgiveness. So how do you know? Can you kill that person or not, right? Limits emotion, so you don't have sometimes with this, because of the consequence, you just kill anybody without emotion, which is opposite of the virtue ethics. You can justify anything for this. For example, okay, country A we predict that country A is going to have a war with us. So That's a prediction. The outcome will be, so the outcome, if you don't do anything, all our people will die. Therefore, we justify, we go into war with that country. So that will also be a problem if you use this utilitarianism. What happens to minority? Because for this for this ethical theory, majority is considered. Okay, as example in the video that we watch. So for example, if you want to save four people from many diseases, kidney failure, heart problem, you just kill one person, innocent person, you can take their organ and save 4 people. So for this, utilitarianism is correct. You can kill this one person, right? But if you use virtue ethics, you cannot kill this person. This person haven't done anything. Why should this person be killed to save these 4 other people? Okay, so this is the problem. And here's the summary of the 3 ethics that we are talking about. You can have a look, read later. We went through this just now. So this is just a summary of it. So I will go through. Oh, there's the Islamic perspective. So here from the Islamic perspective. So as a Muslim, if we're given these 3 major ethical theories, we should think as a Muslim, how do we view these ethics, the theories? So for utilitarianism ethics, from us, it says here, ethically right means the action result in a greater number of utilitarianism. Okay, basically we know utilitarianism look at the outcome and the best of the outcome. So if the outcome benefits more people, then this is the right thing to do. And from Islamic perspective, we believe we reject, as I mentioned, we don't reject 100% the idea of utilitarianism or the 3 ideas, but there are cons that we reject. We shouldn't follow 100% this ethics. Why? Because the only basis of this theory is the greatest consequence of greatest number. So it doesn't consider many things. So we shouldn't follow this fully on the utilitarianism ethics. On the deontology ethics, from Islamic perspective, we don't follow this 100% because the theory is not clear about the source of this universal ethics. Because when they come with this law and this universal ethics, for example, human rights, okay, there's a law on human rights. Where are the laws coming from? So the laws, like 50 years ago, maybe now they keep on revising and become different. So 50 years ago, homosexual, transgender, LGBTQ was not accepted. Now they change it. So we are rejecting it because we're not clear where are the source of this ethics. Okay, because in Islam we have our own source. And the third is the virtue ethics. Virtue ethics based on the oneself, the heart. So in Islam we cannot follow 100% of this because the only basis for this theory is virtue ethics. Everything, the basis theory is about yourself. There's nothing else to support. So practically it cannot happen. It will not save the world if you only follow the virtue ethics. Okay. Okay. Any question up to now? Any question or discussion? What do you think? So what do you think the world are using now? The world globally. Which ethics are they using? Anybody? Amirah Rukman?
I think deontologists, I don't know.
You don't know? You don't want to give a guess? There's no right or wrong.
Deontologists?
Deontology, why?
I just think because I don't know. I don't really sure. Sorry.
Okay, Nazifa?
For me, I think they are using like utilitarianism because every time a specific issues or trend coming like the LGBTQ or the women's feminism and whatnot, they will come up with a new rules for them, like to please them from protesting or something like that, just to not be able to like make a more difficult thing for them. Like if there is a set of a rule for the LGBTQ people, there will be no protest from the LGBTQ people for the UN or the anything the organization that involved.
Do you agree, Mutakim? Huh?
50-50.
What do you mean by 50-50?
I agree and I don't agree.
Can you elaborate?
In my opinion, I see in the real world nowadays, they combine three of the ethics and they use anything that what they feel that this is good for him or her. That is my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Mutakim. Do you agree, Adat?
Yes, madam.
What do you think?
I think it depends on certain country.
Okay, can you elaborate?
For example, in North Korea, I think they use deontology, which follow the rules 100%.
Okay.
They don't, they might be killed. Yeah.
So other countries?
The countries, I'm not sure, but I think it's more to utilitarianism.
Okay, the consequence. Okay, all right, thank you. So I'm not saying everybody is correct. You are entitled of your opinion and the way you view it. I think it's, for my perspective, I think it's a mixture of the three, but it's maybe heavily on the deontology and the utilitarianism, more heavy on that. Okay. And for Nazifa's comment, the UN are doing it because of they don't want to hear protest from the LGBTQ. I would say their view is that it's not about the protest. Their thing is the best for the human being to accept this. Do you understand? The way they look at it, this is the human right. The person is suffering. If we don't allow this LGBTQ and make it legal, so they will crumble. The human being will crumble, and then in the end, it will damage the human being. Therefore, to save the human being, they make it legal. Okay, that's their view from the ethics perspective. So, however, that's from their virtue ethics. That's they come with this, and then from the virtue ethics, they come up with the deontological set of rules. So for us, we have our own virtue ethics, and we don't agree with their thinking, saying that it will damage that person if we don't allow this to happen. We understand the opposite. In order to save that man or woman from damage and destruction, we need to save that person from doing this. That's the way we look at it. The way they look at it is the opposite of what we look at it. Okay, so that's why it's important to know what is the basis of our values. Okay, any question before we go further? Everybody okay? Okay. Anybody sleepy? Tell me. I don't dare to tell you, madam, I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy actually. You say in your head, but I don't dare to tell you. Okay. All right. So if you are sleepy, try not to be sleepy. Yeah. You don't want to tell me. Okay. If you are sleepy, you know what I will do? Okay. I will ask everybody to sing. Let's sing together. So I'm sure you don't want to sing. You know what song we will sing? We'll sing I song. Last time I remember in my class, the face-to-face class, people are, sleepy and everything. Say, okay. But I will ask all, and then if that particular group of brothers who are sleepy, I will ask them to go in front and sing I am song. So we all sing together. So, that was, for me, it was fun. I don't know what for the student, what the student thinks. Okay, so now let's go to Islamic ethics. Okay, brothers and sisters, we are Muslim and we have our own ethics. So in this engineering ethics from that we will learn in this class, we understand that the world out there, the secular world out there, have their own ethics. As I mentioned, engineers in UK, US, Australia, anywhere in the world will learn this engineering ethics. But they will understand it from their perspective. We as a Muslim, we understand that there are this set of rules or ethics from the Western side. But for us, the most important is the Islamic ethics. So what is Islamic ethics? Islamic ethics means what is good or bad is based on Islamic resources and according to Islam. Whatever leads to welfare of the individual or society is morally good, and whatever is injurious is morally bad. So there are few keywords here when we say about ethics. When the other three major ethical theories, they also think about individual and society. That's why there is ethics, is to protect the individual and society. So we also, as ethics, we will protect the welfare of individual society for good, we also identify what is morally bad. But it must be based on Islamic resources and according to Islam. So we have a very clear foundation of how our Islamic ethics should be. So from Islamic point of view, ethics is related to several Arabic terms, which are ma'ruf, which means approved, khair, goodness, haq, truth and right. What is haq, what is batil, bir, what is righteous. This is all the word which in the Quran. Equity, adil, equilibrium and justice, and taqwa. Okay, so these are all terms which are included in Islamic ethics. And good in Islam, good actions are described as salihat and bad actions are described as sayyiat. Okay, so we have this in Islam. Is very clear. We have a comprehensive and complete ethical theory. Not only theory, it needs to be implemented. However, in the term the mostly maybe closely related to the word ethics. To if you have to translate the maybe closest but not maybe all in the Quran is akhlaq. Okay, so what is our akhlaq? Okay, so ethics, akhlaq is very important in Islam. So if you have your aqidah, we have aqidah, ibadah, akhlaq. Okay, aqidah means what? Anybody can tell me what's aqidah means? Don't tell me you don't know. You are Islamic university student. You are Muslim. What's aqidah means?
I think like Diana. Like Diana.
Diana?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Aqidah to Islam or Diana to Islam.
What do you mean Diana? I don't understand.
Religion.
Deen. So what is the difference of aqidah and ibadah?
No, ibadah is the action.
So what is aqidah?
Aqidah is like, you can say like arkan or rules or things you have to do to be a Muslim, for example.
Anybody else wants to comment on this?
Is it belief?
The belief, yes. Aqidah is the belief. Aqidah is the belief. our akidah is God is one. That is our belief. Tauhid, the oneness of Allah, is part of the akidah. So and believe in the 6 arkan of iman, believe in Allah, believe in His Rasuls, and believe on the Day of Judgment. So that is part of our akidah. What is ibadah? Amirul, Muhammad Amirul, can you answer that? I'd like to just listen, hear you talking. Even if it's wrong, you don't know, it's fine, as long as I hear your voice. Muhammad Amirul.
Action to show that we believe in Allah.
Actions to show that we believe in Allah. Ibadah is worshipping Allah. All the actions that show that we are worshipping Allah is ibadah. So we have this aqidah, ibadah, and then we have akhlaq. What is akhlaq? Syafiqah, Nabila? Manners. Manners, morals, the actions that we do because when we are dealing with in our life, right? So can you be a Muslim with the aqidah and the aqidah and akhlaq without the ibadah? Can you be a Muslim with just the aqidah and akhlaq without the ibadah? Boleh ke tak boleh?
Tak boleh.
Tak boleh ya. Can you have become a Muslim just the aqidah and ibadah without the akhlaq? Boleh ke tak boleh?
Yes, we can, but we cannot be a good Muslim.
Yes, you can, but you cannot be a good Muslim. Okay, good. So as a true Muslim and mu'min, we need to have these three three elements in our life. And the easiest, I remember there's somebody told me, an ustaz told me, is aqidah is like if you draw a tree, you can imagine a tree, the root, okay, it must be it depends on, you should imagine yourself as a tree now. If I ask yourself, so how big is the tree, how big of Islam in you? Is it a big tree or a small tree? A strong mu'min or Muslim will have a tree with the root, a very big root that goes into the ground. You can see, plants, there are plants who are I don't know, during your A levels or during your high school, you learn about different plants. There are plants who you can easily pull. Akar tunjang, akar apa benda tu, in Malay is that the root are big roots, or roots which are not strong. I don't know what's the word I can't remember the word in English. But so you can imagine, as a Muslim, we need to have a big root that goes inside the earth to stabilize it. And that is our aqidah. And from this strong aqidah, it will come out with a strong stem. The stem. You know what the stem are? Batang. The stem of the plant is the ibadah. So if you have your aqidah with the ibadah, you are not a tree. Not even a tree. So you don't pray 5 times a day. You don't do zakah. You don't what do you call it? What else? You don't fast in Ramadan. So you just like a tree without the trunk, the stem, and then all the branches. The akhlaq is the fruits. The akhlaq is the fruit of the aqidah and ibadah. If your aqidah is solid, if your ibadah is solid, it will come out through your akhlaq. If your aqidah is weak, if your ibadah is also weak, your akhlaq will also be weak. So akhlaq can be an indication of your aqidah and ibadah. Some people, they like to swear, right? Do you swear? Do you know what swear is? Swear. Can you give an example of swearing? Without really, without really mentioning, give me give an example. What, like a cover example? Give me an example. Do you understand what I mean? Of swearing. You don't swear? Have you ever heard people swearing? Yes, right? And I was shocked, because I was brought up by my father to never swear in our life. Even to say a word which is, you say aku, we are not allowed to say aku in our family. We will say saya. So to say if my father hear us and any of our brothers and sisters to swear, we will die. Basically, my father is very, very, tough. So we will not swear. I never in my life swear. So, but nowadays I heard in my friend, which is a lecturer, post show the Twitter of the students of IIUM. I can't remember the issue. I don't know. Maybe the issue of the gate. I don't know, Hamzah. Maybe I don't know what issue is it, but it's an issue by the student. But the way the student is writing with all, it's common to use the F word. For me, I was shocked. How can an international Islamic student swear and doesn't feel bad when they swear, number one, and number two, swear publicly, and number three, when Twitter you have reply, right? So because I don't have Twitter, my friend just screenshot because I don't have Twitter. So she screenshot and seeing the other replies, nobody in the reply feel shocked or or feeling weird or feeling bad about that person swearing. They will just concentrate on the whatever the issue without looking at the swearing. So for me, it's like, how is it possible? Even if you want to say something which is true, whatever you do must be with good akhlaq. Well, even you're on the right path, brothers and sisters, we know you are in the right, but never from the akhlaq we know it gives an indication of your aqidah and ibadah, something not right. So so I hope none of you swear. If you swear, so I have a student, I know of a brother in our kuliah. I said, do you swear? And our students are very honest. If I ask that question, normally one-to-one, they will be honest and say, he's a good brother. He's a good brother. He knows about all sirah. But I just curious. Do you swear? And then you know what he answers? He said, I swear, I only swear when I play games. That's his answer. I said, yeah, Allah. So okay, so it means that it's halal to swear while playing games. Allah is not there when you're swearing. So he said, because everybody are swearing in the game. That's why I don't like games, it can bring a good person to become bad. There are many things. I heard of many sad stories of mothers when doing with gaming, and the mothers were crying in front of me, talking about their son, normally son, addicted to gaming. So try not to go to this lubuk kotor, I would say in English, this dirty pot or dirty hole. Try not to go to there. Why do you want to be there when it's already dirty, right? So where was I? Why did I stop sharing? Because akhlak. Okay. So how do I do this? So akhlak is the fruit of ibadah, aqidah and ibadah. If your akhlak is the best, it means there's something good with your iman and your ibadah. If your ibadah is weak, your iman is weak, it will come up from your akhlak. You will never, if you have a good aqidah, strong aqidah, you will never swear because you know Allah is watching you, and Allah doesn't like people who say bad things. It's in the Quran. And how can you do something which is Allah doesn't like? So if you can do it, it means there's something wrong with your aqidah. Okay, so aqidah, ibadah, akhlaq is very important in Islam, and we should always reflect ourselves. Is our tree, our Islam tree, is it strong or no? If not, you need to do something to make it strong. If not, you need to do something so that the tree is strong. So if there's a tsunami, or there's any, what do you call it, ribut taufan, apa ribut taufan bahasa Inggeris lah? If you have, anybody translate for me?
Hurricane.
Hurricane. If there's any hurricane, you know, of a strong wind or comes, you will always be on the right path because your tree is strong. So and we need to ensure that, okay, brothers and sisters. 309. Okay, I'll keep on going. So can you still see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. So in Islam, ethics in Islam is we have two branches: ethics, muamalah, muamalah with other creatures, and ethics with God. In our akhlaq with Allah, and our akhlaq with other creatures of Allah, and ethics with God, with Allah. The Quran uses a strict and authoritative way to implement its rules and moral values. So in Islam, we have a very direct, you know, what you call it, instruction from Allah on this set of moral values, which is in the Quran. At the same time, it tries to remind us of the great rewards, benefits, and advantages behind good deeds. Not only that Allah say, okay, pray 5 times a day, finish. It's not only finished there, but in the same time from the Quran and from Hadith, it explains why praying 5 times a day is good. Why praying 5 times a day is good for you. It's actually nothing that Allah gives, brothers and sisters. Nothing, no instructions that Allah gives which is not good for us. All instruction from Allah and His Rasul are good for us, because He the one who created the universe. He is the one who created us. He knows what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad. And He is Ar-Rahman. He loves us. So He will give instruction that will save us, not only in this dunya but akhirah. Okay, so this is how we view ethics with God. The decision is for Allah only. He tells the truth and He's the best of deciders. Al-An'am, Surah Al-An'am, ayah 57. So Allah decides. We believe Allah decides. Okay, on the ethics with other creatures, we have, what are the other creatures? We have alam, everything around us. Alam means the environment. Human beings, right? Human beings also, ethics with human beings, and ethics with animals. We also have ethics with them. We don't just go, you see a cat, you are angry at that day, you just kick the cat for no reason. That is sinful. All right. So, and the beauty of ethics in Islam, it ties up anything that we do, our akhlaq, whatever our action, it ties up to the hereafter, which means it ties up to Jannah and Jahannam. It ties up with ajar and sin. It ties up with reward, pahala, and also dosa, sin. So this all ethics is not like gone, just like for the non-Muslim, you do good, finish. Maybe the Hindu, they believe in karma. You understand karma? Karma means that you will be, if you die, and you'll be you'll be you'll be alive again according to your your previous life. But us Muslim, we don't have any life. We only have one life, and the second life is in hereafter. So, and anything that we do, ethics with God and the creatures, we will get the reward, the result back on the hereafter. So when ethics with other creatures, including what is your ethics on yourself? Do you have ethics on yourself? Ethics with your family. How do you deal with your family? Do you speak rudely to your mother? Do you shout at your mother? That is ethics, right? And ethics with society. How do you talk to the people around you, right? To the teachers, to the makcik, pakcik, to the cleaners. What's the ethics in Islam? So, and also you have ethics with our enemy. Even though they are enemy, but we also have ethics, which is that everything is bound with Allah. Nothing goes out. So everything must be within the boundary. What's the time now? I cannot see from here. Anybody?
3:13.
Okay, 3:13. Let's go a bit more. Ethics in Islam comes from a single source. This is al-wahyu, al-wahi or revelation. Wahyu, al-wahi or revelation. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has stated that he has only been sent to support and elaborate on the ethical virtues, reported by Bukhari. So who knows this hadith? Rasulullah SAW said he comes in this world to perfect the makarim al-akhlaq, the ethical virtue. Other sources are considered only when they are compatible with the revelation. Among others are, so number one source is Al-Quran. Number two source is hadith by the Prophet Muhammad SAW. And even hadith, we have the authentic hadith, the less authentic hadith, Hasan and good hadith. They are da'if hadith, they are, fabricated hadith. So we need to know all this as a Muslim. And on top of that, these two main sources, we also have ijma, consensus of the ulama, or consensus of the sahaba, and qiyas, metaphor. Qiyas means metaphor, analogy, or examples. They don't have exactly from Quran and Sunnah about this. So they use a metaphor of this to this. For example, drugs. To take drugs, there's no, at that time of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, there's no drugs that people go crazy and addicted. So nowadays, they come with analogy to the alcohol, or alcohol, and they gave the qiyas to give out the rulings on drugs. Okay, that's the sources in Islam. There are secondary ethical Islamic sources. Secondary means that not everybody agree. Some agree, some don't, some are not. So these are all debatable. So you can, I won't go through this. You can read it in the, in the slides. Ethics from Islamic perspective. So we have many ayahs in the Quran that talks about this ethics. So we have 70 verses relating to mu'amalah, 70 verses relating to is it mu'akahat or munakahat? I think maybe there's something, some typo here. 140 verse on ibadah and 70 verses related to other ethics. So there are in Quran there are many verses that talks on ethics. Okay, so what's the time now? Let's see, 3:16. So we'll go through after Thursday, inshallah, the continuation of this on ethics on Islam. Brothers and sisters, this is not just passing the course. It's about understanding our deen. And I will question you, how much do you know about your deen? How much do you know about your deen? And why don't you put extra effort to learn more about your deen? Let's say I ask you how much you know. You say, okay, I know maybe 50%. Why don't you put effort to know the other 50%? If you say, I know 90%, oh, great. Let's have a discussion and see how much is the 90% that you have. From my experience, brothers and sisters, we are all weak human beings. We don't know many things. As we go and learn more and more, we realize that a lot more that we don't understand. It shows the power of Allah. Allah says in the Quran, there's a ayah, who remembers the ayah that Allah says if there's a to write the knowledge of Allah, you need 7 seas. Anybody knows that ayah? 7 seas, ocean, as the ink to write the knowledge of Allah. Who knows the ayah? Any Hafiz here? No? Nobody knows? Any from sekolah agama? No? Any from Islamic school? Nobody knows? Okay, your homework is to find that ayah. Find that ayah. It's a powerful ayah. Where Allah says that you will never be able to write the whole of knowledge of Allah. Allah have a lot of knowledge, and we are very small. You think engineering study is very difficult, right? There is nothing to Allah. This is very small, nothing. And then you do masters, then you do PhD like me. Then you realize even more, I feel even more stupid when I do my PhD. Because there are a lot more out there that I don't understand. The same as Islam. We should keep on learning about Islam because there are a lot to learn about Islam. And the beauty is, brothers and sisters, if you learn more about Islam, it will strengthen your tree. Knowledge is very important for the aqidah, for the ibadah, and for the akhlaq. So we need to understand Islam. Therefore, we need to get the knowledge. So I know you are all very busy, but why don't you spend at least maybe 30 minutes a week watching, or listening to Islamic talk, rather than you just go, playing games for 2-3 hours. Why don't you learn about your religion? Learn about the Sahaba. Learn about the Sirah. What happens in Khandaq? How does the Sahaba feels in Khandaq, Battle of Khandaq, Battle of the Trench? So there are many things, beautiful things about Islam for us to learn. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So I will give you the assignment 1 in the Google Classroom. The deadline will be 1 week from now, this Sunday. Is it okay? So the deadline will be this Sunday. Try to answer a good answer. If you have dalil with you, if you have reference evidence, because it's open, it's not closed book, it's open book. This assignment is open book. You can open any book in the world. I will also I also do plagiarism check. So make sure if you open book, you don't just plagiarize. Make sure you understand what you do, and if there's references, put references to strengthen your argument of why you answer like that. Okay. Any question before we end?
I find the ayah.
You found the ayah? Okay, can you read that, please, Ahmad?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولو إنما في الأرض من شجرة أقلام والبحر يمده من بعده سبع أبحر ما نفذت كلمات الله إن الله عزيز حكيم.
Thank you. What does it mean?
Like if we take pens from the trees and we start writing the words of Allah, it will, and we have like ink like for 7 seas, it won't be even enough to write the words of Allah, and Allah is all wise and Hakim.
I think you are reading the translation from your own. You didn't read from the translation.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's not necessarily right. No.
So you want to read from the book?
Translation to English. Okay.
Yeah, you just Google what's the ayah, what's the surah and ayah number?
Luqman 27.
So everybody, Surah Luqman, ayah 27. I think there's also another ayah on this, but this is okay as well.
Yes, madam, there's another ayah.
Okay, Hamza, can you read that ayah?
Yeah, it says, قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لنفذ البحر قبل أن تنفذ كلمات ربي ولو جئنا بمثله مددا.
Okay, good. What's the meaning?
The meaning is, and I quote, if the oceans were ink wherewith to write out the words of my Lord, sooner will the ocean be exhausted. That would the words of my Lord, even if we added another ocean like it for its aid.
Yes. Yes, it's amazing. So Allah is saying, if you take the oceans to be the ink and 7 oceans and you add more, you will never able to finish the word of Allah. It means the knowledge of Allah. So it's amazing. Allah is amazing. So we are just a very tiny drop that you are learning engineering. I know you are suffering learning engineering. Maybe you also, but this suffering is nothing compared to the knowledge of Allah. So if Allah wants you to understand everything that you learn for your engineering, Allah can just do like that, right? So ask Allah, the one who have the knowledge, to help you to understand this very small knowledge. And you shouldn't feel that if you get a CGPA of 4, 3.8, you are great. You are nothing. Even if you get 4 flats, also nothing in the sight of Allah. Allah is still greatest. So we need to realize that is part of our Aqidah. Okay, thank you Hamzah and Ahmad. Let's end the class today with the dua. Can we have a brother who haven't recited the dua to make the dua? You know who you are? Otherwise, we cannot leave.
Should I, madam?
Have you recited before? The dua, Ahmad?
Okay.
Not yet? Okay, go on.
رب ادخلني مدخل صدق واخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة
Why
من
don't you change it to na? You are just making dua for yourself, right? We are all
Oh, رب okay. I'm just reciting.
right. So you need to change it to nahnu.
رب no. Not necessarily. رب ادخلنا.
Yeah. So you shouldn't say for individual.
رب ادخلنا مدخل صدق واخرجنا مخرج صدق واجعلنا من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا رب اشرح لنا صدرنا ويسر لنا امرنا واحلل عقدة من لساننا يفقه قولنا بسم الله الفتاح اللهم لا سهل الا ما جعلته سهل وانت تجعل الحزن ان شئت سهلا يا رحمن يا رحيم.
Amin. Wassallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah. Amin. Thank you, Ahmad. Let's end today's class with Tasbih Kifarah and Surah Al-Asr. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'asr. Innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilus solihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Okay, thank you very much everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Welcome.